Welcome guys to a Rules of Warfare Bloodbath Rules tutorial. This is for integrated railway systems, which is on page 37. So let's just want to go over this to make sure everyone here is on the same page about how the railways work. The railways are non-combat movement only. So basically, let's do have a scenario here. So let's say Germany is going to take Eastern Poland there, okay? So they go in, let us assume that they got them, okay? Now it's non-combat movement, okay? Each industrial complex you have, whether it's major or minor, has integrated railway in it. And it's based off the IPC value, okay? Units that can use the rail are artillery, and an aircraft gun, tank, mechanized, and infantry. And what this does is allow them to move up to 3. Okay, doesn't matter if it's the AA gun or the tank. You know, even though the tank already moves 2, it still only moves 3 coming from here. Okay, so but it's non-combat only, and you have to have had the territory. You or your ally had to have the territory you are moving into or through at the start of your turn. Therefore, you cannot now, this guy cannot rail 1, 2 into Eastern Poland. Okay, he can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, but you cannot move into newly captured or liberated territories. Okay, so even if this was liberated, you still cannot move into it, and there's a reason for that. They had different railway systems. The tracks were different. So when territories got moved back and forth, they had to replace all the rail. And we tried it with being able to combat move into it. It's just a mess. It's a disaster. This was more historically accurate, and it seems to not overpower anything at one time, and it still speeds things up. So that's how it is. So remember, IPC value. So that means these 5 units could move up to 3 spaces. But you have to start at the territory with the industrial complex, okay? It's just like any other base. Like if it was an air base, you have to start from the air base to get the full, oh wait a minute, is air base does it? Oh yeah, the +1. Sorry, I forget the out-of-box rules with my rules. Okay, yeah, so basically start here based off of the IPC value. Okay, so this one here, only 3 units can use the rail. Okay, and that's each time, each turn. I mean, each turn that comes around, 3 units can use this railway system. Now, if there is any damage to it at all, even 1 damage, the railway is inoperative. Okay, but you can fix it before your turn or before your combat movement, because remember, repair units phase is phase 1. So if you plan on using that railway, if you need that railway that turn, you must fix it, on your purchase and repair units phase. Another important thing about the rail is that you cannot use the rail to go through canals, passes, into enemy territories, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, that's kind of reiterates the non-combat movement, but what it doesn't cover is this. So this is a typical scenario where there's going to be a minor industrial complex there, generally by UK or Italy, but for the sake of this video, we'll use these Russians here, okay? I'll just put these guys down here, okay? So now, what they cannot do, they can do 2 units, can go 1, 2, 3, okay? But they cannot go 1, 2, 3 because of this canal. Obviously, rail isn't going, it's not floating in the air here over this water. Okay, you cannot, rail does not work this way, and vice versa. If this was here, these guys here, which is the example in the rule book, cannot rail this way. They can go. Well, the tanks can go 2 because they can always go 2, 1, 2. That doesn't. Their range doesn't change. But these guys, These guys cannot go 1, 2, or even 3. You know, it'd be 1 just like normal. Okay, you can't go through, into, or over canal on the rail and on passes. So let's put the Russia guy. Let's go to Stalingrad now. Put a couple tanks there. Got a couple guys there. Okay, now we have the Great Himalaya Pass, which is impassable. Then you have the Tan Klanlun Shan Pass. Okay, this is impassable to all units other than infantry and strategic bombers. Okay, this territory cannot be owned. This is on the rulebook. We can go over this on a different video. But the railway cannot go into the pass. So again, you're stuck only moving 1. Okay, now you can go 1, 2, 3, you know, and you can start to whip around, but you cannot move. The rail cannot go 1, 2. This does not, cannot use this as a movement point. You can go 1, then you can, on the next turn you can go 1, on the next turn you can go 1, which I don't think is any faster than just going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, but you know, it's 1. Okay, it's not. There's no rail going into, through, or over it. Okay, and I think that's the only 2 scenarios, because the other canal is Panama Canal, and that's just one. There's just one territory, anyways. There's, you know, the borders here, the borders here, so that's nothing. So I think that's the only 2 oddball scenarios would be this one, no rail, you know, through this territory to this territory, vice versa, and no rail into the pass. You can rail up to the pass. For example, if we're here, you can rail up to it, 1, 2, or, you know, 1, 2. You just can't go that third and go into it. Okay, I think that covers everything. Remember, damaged, even if it's 1, even if it's just 1, the railway is inoperative. Okay, and also please note that these service not only you but your allies, just like any other base. So if Italy, if I had Italy units here, and Italy's turn can come up, they can use this 5 rail system and move 3 spaces. Okay. So it's just like any other facility. It's, you know, your allies can also use it. I think I went over everything. It's pretty basic. It's a huge factor in the BBR. It's one of the huge things that helps speed up things. Gets guys to the front. I think I went over everything. So we went over the damage. We went over the canals and passes. Let me go through this pager here. We went over the damage. And we went over the IPC values. Okay, so that's it. We will see you next for another video on something. I'm not sure what. Oh, just real quick too. You notice that I in my videos I chip my movements, and what that helps is to know that I cannot move into here. You know, because sometimes you're doing a lot of stuff, and I generally don't flip these over until the collect income phase. So you remember, don't put your planes here. You remember I can't rail into here, and then at the end of your turn on the collect income phase, and you go around and flip it over. So it just should help you to remember that you cannot rail into there, especially when you get a lot of people playing. Everyone around the table is talking, and then nobody kind of paid attention, and then like next thing you know, you have some guys there. I was like, "Wait, did you just take that?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know, I think so." So, anyways, it's just easier to mark it after the fact. All right, guys, take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.